Okay, so right, hello and welcome back for all of those of you who, I hope, watched the first part of the video. I mean, it's not necessary, but would be nice to know where we're coming from with this. So this is the second part of my gun modeling tutorial, and in the first part we did the frame. We quite did the frame, not everything's done yet, as you can see, for example. So yeah, we are going to take care of that, and also we are going to do the frame. Right, no, not the frame. The frame's that what we've done just in the last part. Today we are going to do the slide. So we turn our image back on and now we just make the slide, yeah. That's basically the same as the frame. It's even easier, I'd say, because it's more rectangular and hasn't got that much like variation to it. So yeah, that should be good. That's right at the start. No, we'll literally just like extrude it. No, that's not the complete slide. We're still going to do something to it, but it's pretty much going to be the best start. So yeah, we'll just take the edges. Wait, is that in the, oh, that's the right one. So yeah. That's nice, but okay, yeah, it seems to fit, yeah. Good. Now, actually, we just need to smooth off the corners a little bit. I'd even recommend for those two stages. And this is actually like more curved than this part. So this part is even a bit. Well, no, that doesn't seem right actually for some reason. I'll do it like this. That should do it, yeah. Okay, that's better. And back then as well, we'll add one bevel. As I said already in the last video, bevel is going to be very important for hard surface modeling in order to really convey the type of material you're using. And steel always has some sort of smooth edges. Not everything's completely sharp. So yeah. Now we are going to add another edge loop to this. Very easy. And this edge loop is gonna be the size of the inner part, I'd say. For that, we will enable snapping again. Wait. Oh, okay. Interesting. Don't know where that came from. I'll probably add a already beginning curvature right there, because I think that's what the Glock is like, and I'll also set those back a bit further down, not that far down, but yeah, right about there. Because I think the real Glock also kind of has a different profile there. And snapping can sometimes be, yeah, incredibly annoying. So often you'll need to disable it, because it just disturbs the workflow. Okay, that looks good so far. Yeah, unfortunately the Glock doesn't have this steep of an angle and this much smoothing. So this needs to be moved out. Like this, really. Let's say, yeah, that's where it begins. A bit further than that. Okay, that's good. Now we'll add another edge loop in there because we want to make it actually detailed. I could have done this through beveling as well, but I think we just want to make it a bit more precise. And at the front I'll leave them as they are. I think that's going to be important that they stay the way they are right there. Or should I? No, I shouldn't. I'm gonna keep it like that. Okay, that means yeah, those are going to go up as well. It's going to go down, possibly down there. Okay, if we smooth it, you can already see it's taking effect and it's making the whole gun nicely smooth. Of course, we don't want everything to be smooth, so we're going to have to add another bevel here. That's perfect now. And another bevel here. Yeah, that's nice. And also we're going to bevel the edges of the slide just ever so slightly. Because again, plain flat edge looks kind of out of place, so not so much, just a little bit. Yeah, just like that. And you can keep a gap between the front of the frame and the front of the slide, because in reality also the Glock has kind of a gap to allow for smoother action and smoother functioning, because you don't have so much material rubbing against each other. You don't have like friction between the parts, so the whole gun runs smoother and is also more resistant to dust and more resilient to ambient temperature, because I mean, small alterings of the little spaces don't affect the functioning of the slide. Even if a little bit of dust gets in between the works and the action of the gun, it's not going to be such a tragedy because it still has enough space to compensate for that. So that's why good functioning guns always have high tolerances. Yeah, so much to that. Now we are going to do the serrations. And we're also going to bevel those a little bit, but not really. Here we can actually effectively use the array modifier. We just need to modify it like a little bit. 1.76. Yeah, 1.76, that's perfect. Where does it start? It starts about there. That's gonna be right, yeah, about there. Okay, so we now take a Boolean modifier, apply the array, kind of make them thinner on the inside. There we use again the pivot point individual origins. See, like that. That should work, I think. Yeah, that works. So nice. Now we can apply that. That's going to be cube 001. That's right. Disable the cube and look at the... Yeah, that's perfect. Exactly where it needs to be. We're just going to smooth out those edges a little bit, because we can't effectively smooth out the inner ones. So yeah, that's good. Okay, now what do we need to do? We need to add the cut up here for the sides. Because the sides are modular, you can dismount them and replace them with custom optics. So they've got like just a cut where they slide on, it's called a dovetail mount. And they are like press fitted. Yeah, basically they're press fitted in there. Nothing more than that. Okay, for that we now need to pull it out a little bit. We'll add the same thing already over there, because the front side is actually... Is it? No, it's not press fitted, it's screwed in there. Screwed in place, okay. No, I think it's even held in place by a pin, I'm not quite sure. But it's not, definitely not mounted like this. So we can now just remove this and model the side. The side's not going to be that hard, it's literally just a cube with a little cut at the center point, so yeah, just crudely model the cube like this, then adapt it and put the little dovetail mount on there, just subdivide it, select the edge, and now you need to move it over there so it kind of lines up, and then extrude up to there. You can make it snap on there and then just pull it out. That's nice. I wouldn't actually really like it oversized, so you have to turn individual origins off to actually scale things on this axis, otherwise it kinda yeah, it doesn't allow it to work, so that's something you need to remember. Good. Is the side really that big? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but it's kind of sloped like this anyway. So I'd say it... Okay, from the picture I'd say it goes up to there and then it's sloped like this. Then the inside is going to be, of course, hollowed out in order to allow for the sighting groove, where you actually pass your front side through. That means we are just going to cut out a sighting groove. I don't have the exact measurements, but that's going to do it. Just apply a boolean, take that object, and yeah, just apply it. Okay, now that you have done that, you could, I mean, I could even say that's basically finished at that point, because there's literally not much you can do. You can, of course, like everything, you can bevel it a little bit, like that, just in order to achieve a bit more realism. Just bevel it a little bit, and then what I really like to do is I add the little points. So I'm now pretending this was an iron sight with glowing points, but I think it's a U sight, so it's got like a glowing U shape below the serration. But let's just do it with points, that's cool too. So what we'll do is we'll cut in a hole about this size. Yeah, that position, that's good. So just boolean cylinder. Then we'll actually reuse the cylinder, so keep it. Going to put it in because it's basically it's like a point put into this little enclosure. So just try to simulate a point in there, like that. I think that's a good representation. So just join all that together, and you've basically got it. What you now need to do is add the front side. There you can, if you actually want to use the model for a game, you can already make sure that it fits correctly between the backside posts. But that's not going to be that important if it's just for display, but yeah. I'd say pay attention to it anyways. I don't know now how this is attached down there, so I'll actually just pull it down like this. Now I need to look if it lines up. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's incredibly good. That lines up perfectly. Well, I'd still make it a little bit thinner, though. Okay, this is going to get later on its dot because I don't want to make like half a dot. I'm gonna do it if I duplicate this slide the same way I did with the frame, and that's what I'm actually going to do now. Because, yeah, I think we've done all the work that needs to be done on one side. I think we've done everything. Am I going to put the markings in there? Okay, yeah. Probably I'm going to put the markings in there, so... No, I don't know. No, first I'm not going to do it, no. Now I'm just adding the captive pin inside of the frame that holds the trigger in place. This should have been actually two-sided, I think, but I forgot it last time, so I'm just gonna do it like that. And again, just bevel it, just a little bit. Perfect. Now we can attach that to the frame. Yeah, just attach all of these together already. Would be a good idea. Wait, does it automatically mirror it then? Yeah, don't want that. I can actually, I think I'm going to save it, that's going to be important. Just save it as something, I'm now going to save it as Glock1. And after that, apply all the modifiers. Because, yeah, if you did something wrong, and then you just start to see it when you've finished the whole model, and you can't revert to an old save state, that's pretty bad. So yeah, I'd recommend to always save in between, do backup files, and create duplicates. That's going to be important. Now I'm going to do the guide rod and the recoil spring housing in here. That's basically going to look this. No, I'm just doing this by memory because I don't have a front view picture from it, but it looks like this, I'm pretty sure. That's what it looks like. So we're just going to like insert it like that and attach it. Good. Now we can mirror the slide on the y-axis, on the z-axis, yeah, on the z-axis. Okay, that's nice, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, it didn't mirror this for whatever reason. Didn't mirror this either. Well, strange. Just set the origin to the 3D cursor then and mirror it manually. Okay, that's kind of a wide rear side cut, so I'm just going to make it a little bit narrower. Going to select all the faces and move them a little bit inwards. No, just a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. That's a nice side, I like that. Even just a little bit further. No? Out? Yeah. That's good. Okay, nice. So we are going to apply the mirror and we are going to shade it smooth. And with the side, I think I'm going to just mark everything that I'm not going to shade smooth, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to shade all the little things there. So I'll manually do it. Okay, now you just need to press shade flat, W shade flat, and everything that you do not want to be smooth is automatically shaded flat. Okay, this one, I think we can now actually clean up the... Does it? Yeah, okay. So here we'll do the little glow side dot as well. And of course, everything that's not going to be smooth is going to be flat. I think we'll just steal one of those points real quick if we're already at it. Just, no wait, did you now remove the 1 point? Yeah, remove the 1. Well, no problem. We can just duplicate it and then Control Shift Alt and C, and then origin to geometry, then set it to 0 and move it all the way to the front and down until it fits where it should. Okay, but I think I'm actually going to do a seating for this point too, because otherwise it would need to protrude quite far and that wouldn't look all that good, so I'm just going to like add a little cut. Wait, why doesn't it... Oh, come on. Why doesn't it work? Okay, now it works. Strange. Yeah, the modifiers sometimes do strange things to the objects and to other modifiers, so sometimes you'll need to get rid of them, but as you see, always works nicely. Okay, now everything that we need correctly shaded. Now I'll keep the edge splits for the second. Okay, that's good. And the sides seem to be quite done. The rest's also looking quite good. Of course, we'll need to do a ejection port and ejection port on the other side, but at first I think I'll go into texturing first. Okay, so let's just go into shading. Just basic texturing. If you go into shading, you're going to have this white object that's kinda lighted and kinda realistic, but not quite. You're missing all the textures and all the images. So you need to press on New to create a new material. Now you've got this node editor open. Then you click on Add, Texture, Image Texture, and collect the same color dots. That's usually the indicator of what goes together, the color, but not always. But you won't need any specialized function at the moment anyway, so you just search for a fitting texture. In my case, I've looked for like a metal texture, and that's what I'm going to use right now. That means that I'm going to re-unpack it. You can also enable the view here so that you see how everything looks. And yeah, just do it so it seems to fit. I'm doing like a steel finish slide with a polymer frame. And now we'll create a polymer material, but we'll also need to have some normal maps. So that's something that I'm going to add later on. That's just the very basics. Okay, plastic grip, that's my plastic grip texture. Now we're going to go into UV editing again and Smart UV project. So you press U and then Smart UV. It's kinda low resolution, but it's okay. I mean, the gun is like in quotation marks low resolution as well, so you want to turn the specularity of polymer down, because polymer is not that specular from my experience. And all the rest basically going to be metal. This is going to be metal, this is going to be metal. This is actually normally going to be metal as well. So this will get the metal shader. This is just very basic, as you can see. So yeah, don't expect anything out of the ordinary. Just very basic texturing. Okay. Now that it looks more like a gun, and here we have the stress on looks, we actually can take our little points there. So we have kind of already a little reference. Okay, those are apparently, I don't know where their origin is. I'll try to add them together here. Okay, nice. For those we're going to use third texture. And that's just going to be a simple white. Just a white. Not like a sophisticated sort of texture, just a simple white texture. Okay, that's okay. Now we'll probably want to re-unwrap all of that. Kind of turn this more high quality and turn this more high quality as well. Even though I actually like the way this looks. Yeah, that looks kind of good as well, although I can already see that it's not quite seamless. You can see how it repeats itself right there. So I'll probably just do that. Project from view, and it's going to do it like that. That should yield better results, at least on the sides, yeah. Well, let's just unwrap it. Oh, should we just unwrap it? What happens then? If we just unwrap it, it should be a bit. Yeah, that's a bit more acceptable. Okay, so that's a perfect block right there. We still need to like create a normal map for this, and yeah. In general, I think we'll need to bake something in there, some sort of light stuff. But in general, it looks quite okay already. Yeah, that's better, I think. Just add a little bit of metallic on your metallic objects. Yeah, that makes it look already better, I'd say. But it's of course still not finished, not by a long shot. The more sophisticated stuff and the ejection port is going to come in the next video. Until then, yeah, wait. One thing I've got to do, and I've got to add a muzzle. That's kind of a shame. Gun without a muzzle. So we'll just look at how big it is up here, and we'll just try to recreate that. Bevel, as you may already know by now. And you might actually even... that should be possible. Now you should have a little hole in there that you can actually just take out like that. This one as well. Perfect. And then you can take this limit and you can just drag it all the way down to where the actual chamber would be, so back there, but yeah, that's doesn't need to be. Is that actually like a... what is that? Yeah, okay. Maybe not something we actually want, so let's just go and delete that. Yeah, that's looking a bit better, but we then need to shade it, of course, and we'll need to add it to the line of miscellaneous stuff on the gun. Okay, that looks okay, yeah, that looks good. So if we now disable the empty, that already looks more like a gun. But of course it could still use some nice texture work. This thing and all of that basically could use a yeah, that's better. That not as annoying. The smoothing doesn't look as bad. Now individual origins, of course, gonna help. Yeah, now that's round. That's good. This is not round. I do not like that. Smooth. Then of course edge split. Perfect. Now that already looks kind of good, let's say. Of course, it's still not far from perfect actually, but we're gonna do that in the next video. So until then, goodbye and yeah, have a nice day.